All right, everyone, we're going to get started here. Thank you all for being here. My name is Sam Casey. We're just get us started here. You want to do this?
For recording.
Okay. Now we're going to get started. So we got a quick agenda up here. We're going to go through the essentials that you'll need to get started here. We're very excited to have everyone coming into the Computer Systems Engineering program for the fall 2018 semester. A lot of excited faces, so we should have a good upcoming semester. So you'll hear from our Assistant Dean of Multidisciplinary Graduate Engineering, Tristan, right after me, and then from one of our Student Service Specialists. You'll hear, I'll step back up here again and speak with you, a co-op advisor, and then we're going to finish it off with your program director, Dr. Bugarara. Okay, so to start off, we'll get right into it. Dr. Tristan Johnson is going to talk to you guys first.
Welcome. Welcome. No. You don't clap, just say welcome back. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, or hello. Yeah. Okay, good. Comment. You don't need to, you applaud for him, okay, when he comes up to the stage. Anyway. All right, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you here today for orientation for the fall 2018 cohort for the Computer Systems Engineering program, right? You guys are excited to be here? Yeah. Excellent. Let me tell you a couple things, and when I'm done, then I need to leave to go to another orientation, but a few things I wanted to share with you. This program here was actually resurrected by Dr. Bugarara. It had been continuing to go on, but this program is a burgeoning program. It's becoming a very, very interesting and valuable program to the university and also to the workplace. So as you'll find out in the orientation, one of the things that you'll learn, and as you hear and talk to these representatives here, we are your academic family. We don't share blood, but we share a common interest of academia. And once you come here, we will always be bonded by that. Just like your blood relatives, your blood family, okay? Think of your parents. They want to push you. They want what's best for you. Were your parents did they always tell you what you wanted or what you needed? They always told you what you needed, right? If it was not positive, sometimes parents are a little shaky at being diplomatic, right? But they tell you what they think you need so you can grow and be successful. Okay, well, that's what we're here for. Dr. Bugarara spent countless hours working on and crafting this program. He continues to spend hours investing his time to create courses that will prepare each one of you not for graduation, but for your careers. Okay, this is our goal. So your goal is to not graduate, that's your goal right now, but your purpose in coming here is so that you can launch your career in the workforce, to contribute back to society, to make a difference, to develop software, to develop solutions that actually are valuable to the human race. And that's what we're here for. That's our goal here, is to provide an opportunity so that you all can do it quickly, efficiently, get out there and be competitive. We take great pride in the things we do here. It's not easy. It's going to be a lot of work. But a few things that we want you to know is we are on the same side of pushing you in the same direction that you want to go. Sometimes you hear things that you don't really like or want to hear, but think of your parents. We're telling you things because we want you to go fast. We want you to go smooth. We don't want to cause big problems. We want you to be successful. At the end of the day, we're all in this together. So you're going to hear from a number of representatives, but at the end of the day, we're here to help, and we've been able to do this successfully. And it's challenging. What you don't see is there's market analysis that's being conducted, being assessed. Even with our co-op faculty, they are checking what the market needs. What are the issues? What are the skills that are needed? And oftentimes we're telling them what they need. So that's part of academia, is being on the forefront of the value of the skills. One of the things that you will hear around here is research. Research is very important. But the skills you learn from the research you're doing here is not the traditional research, but the innovation is not in the research, it's in the development. Taking a simple tool and applying it in a unique way. Dr. Bergar, I'm sure, will give you a few examples of very, very successful students from this program that have won a number of competitions, competed with people in industry. So those are some things to keep in mind. A few things you will need to sacrifice. So as your academic uncle, if you wish, you'll need to sacrifice. There'll be times when you want to go with your friends to party, or you want to go with your girlfriend to, go to a movie, and there's assignments that are due. Remember, it's your degree, it's your learning. You need to own the process. We know that if you own the process of learning, not relying on a grade, not relying on a faculty member, but use them as a resource to launch your learning. If you own it, you will be successful. I have students that come to my office and say, I don't have a job. They graduate. I don't have a job. And I says, you will get a job because you have the right skills. I know the person personally, right? I'm not just saying it blanketly. But you have the right skills to be competitive. Keep on looking. Keep on looking. The other thing that's important to recognize is whatever country you're in, the skill sets you're learning right now. By the way, if I were to go back to school, guess what degree program I would be enrolling in? If I would be permitted to be admitted, would be this program here. Whether you're in fashion, right? Whether you're in the culinary arts, whether you're in finance, whether you're in engineering, whether you're in whatever, these skills you're learning now have tremendous impact. Medicine have tremendous impact across the globe. Every single foreign country that I go to, there's always a need for your skill sets. And that's what is so valuable, and we're so excited about those skill sets that are being taught here. Okay, a couple other things. You will struggle. Remember, there's people to talk to. It's very hard in American culture, at least especially being a male, it's very hard for me when I'm struggling to go ask for help. Whatever culture you come from, I don't know what your struggle is going to be, but there are people here that can help you. So when you have problems, when you have challenges, talk to the people you're working with. Talk with your professors. Talk with your student services, your co-op, with the program managers, with the director. If I need to, I'd be glad to help. That's why we're here. We want you to be successful. But if you don't ask for help, we can't help you. Obviously, you need to own the problem. You need to own it, and we're here to kind of help guide you. So we're here for success, okay? You'll have bumps along the way. That's fine. Everyone does. But at the end of the day, we want to see you successful, and we're happy that you're here. With that in mind, I will pass the baton back to Haley. But I hope to see you around campus. My office is up close to Dr. Bergara's over in the suite, the MGen suite. But from the College of Engineering, congratulations on being accepted into this program, and we wish you all the best success in the next upcoming 2 years. Thank you very much.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Haley Lyons. Some of you may have emailed me or seen my name listed. So I'm your graduate student services advisor, also maybe referred to as an academic advisor, and I'm here to help. This is my picture. That's my office. That's my email. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize it right now. So you might be wondering, what is graduate student services? At 130 Snell Engineering, we have a full team who handles all of the academic course registration, graduation requirements, academic probation. We also do fun things like send out newsletters, host events, and such. And then we also support funded students, as well as for the international students, I'll serve as your SAVIS contact or SEVIS contact. We partner with the Office of Global Services. So if you have any paperwork that needs to be signed off by your SAVIS contact, you can definitely reach out to me. Oh, before I move on, there's a little note that says to check your Husky email. So prior to today, you might have been receiving communications with the email that you used with your application. But from now on, please make sure that you are checking your Husky account, because that's how the faculty and staff will communicate with you. Okay, so the Office of Global Services, if you're an international student, you'll want to get to know this office and its location, and hopefully you guys are going to, if you have not already, attended a global services orientation. So if you're an F1 visa student, OGS handles all of your visa. You can definitely try to ask me, but I'll probably have you go to OGS just because it is government information, and I want to make sure that you get the most accurate information, and OGS will have that. So they'll have immigration information, employment information. I'm sure they'll go over a lot more in depth, but this is for international students where you want to be going to get involved in the community, and also if you have any international student issues. Okay, so I'm going to go over some resources, responsibilities, and assistance. Resources. So if you have not already, mynortheastern.edu should become your best friend. And this is where you can access your course registration, your email, where you can see your student account and billing, Blackboard, where your professors will have specific course information, your Husky card, which has, I believe, printer money on it, and then if you put Husky dollars on, you can buy things from some of the stores on campus and also around town. So this is a picture of the services and links, and if you can see, it has Blackboard and such. So definitely go on here, play around, figure it out, bookmark it, and you'll appreciate it. Then another important resource is the registrar's office. So the registrar's office has the calendar. So I would definitely check out the graduate student calendar. This way you're aware of all of the important dates and deadlines. I will send you a reminder, but you are graduate students, so this is also your responsibility to make sure you're aware of the requirements, the deadlines, and all of that. If you have any questions about the catalog, that will also be able to be found on the registrar's office. They're located at 271 Huntington Ave. I like food, so I use the reference there by Panera and Starbucks. If you need help, just let me know. All right, so again, this is the catalog. So this has the official curriculum requirements and the elective course options for your degree program. So if you have any questions about your core requirements, or how many credits or anything, you can always check with the catalog. And I will also use the catalog as support for any policies or information that we need to confirm. So there's the academic policies and procedures. So you want to make sure that you're aware of all of that. The Student Code of Conduct and the Bill of Academic Rights and Responsibilities. Definitely take a minute to look over this. It is important, and we are all a part of the community and want to make sure we're going about with respect and all of that. And again, if you do have any questions, just let me know. Then this is the calendar that I was talking about. So Monday is a holiday, so we will not have classes on the 3rd, and then the 5th will be the official first day of classes. So if you have any questions about if we have the holiday off, or it also lists like the days that you can the day that you can add classes until, and then the day that you can drop classes until. I can definitely help you with this as well. I'll send you reminders to make sure that you're getting in the classes in time, and then dropping classes that you don't want so you're not charged. Okay, so this is my team, and we are all assigned to different programs, but we all sit at 130 Snell Engineering. And this is our website. So hopefully you have found your way to this website, because we had the new student information and orientation link there. But just take a look around. It does have some important links and helpful information. The layout will be getting an update at some point, but for the time being, just feel free to go in and explore. So forms. You guys hopefully won't need to fill out too many forms for my office. We do have a bunch of different forms. The ones that you guys will have experience with is academic probation. So I don't know if you noticed, but I have a boot on my foot. And the reason that I have this boot on my foot is because I had foot pain that I ignored for a while, right? And I didn't really want to address the issue because I thought that I could handle it on my own, but then it got so bad that I ended up breaking a bone, and so now I have to wear this boot. So I want you to think about that in terms of the classroom. So if you're, feeling confident, but then something comes up and you're like, ooh, I'm not really sure about this, but I think I can figure it out on my own. And then you keep trying and it's not getting any better. So like Dr. Johnson was saying, definitely reach out for help. We're all here to support you. We want to see you do well, and we know that it's not always going to come easily. So make sure that you're asking your professors or your TAs if there's something in the classroom that you're not able to work out yourself. If there's something outside of the classroom, you can always contact me. We're always here to help you. I definitely don't want to see you end up on probation or in a boot, if you get what I mean. So do your best in classes, but don't be afraid if you're not getting the material. It's hard. So, we have the resources to support you. But if you did end up on academic probation, this is where you would get the form from. So your responsibilities, academic requirements. So you are to complete your degree program by meeting all of the academic requirements specified in that catalog, which you can find on the registrar's website. So to become on academic probation, if your GPA drops below a 3.0. So every semester, you are required to have at least a 3.0 GPA, cumulative GPA. So each semester, you have to get above B's in your classes. So again, if you feel like you're not performing as well as you thought you would, definitely reach out to the professor, or if you have any study buddies, because we want to see you do well. You are required to get a grade of C or better in all of your core courses. So for this program, you do have 2 core courses, and you'll need to get a C or better. But remember that if you drop below a 3.0, which is a B average, then you will be on academic probation. And then to complete your program, you're not able to have more than 8 semester hours below the grade of a B-. So I know this is a lot, but you guys will do great, and you have the resources to support you if you feel like you're not doing as well. So this is the academic probation policy. I believe you guys all have to sign off on this through admissions, so make sure you're actually reading it, agreeing, and signing off. Again, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you complete the policy sign-off online. And this is just some information about academic probation. So if you fall below 1 term, that's academic probation 1. If you have 2 consecutive terms with a cumulative GPA below a 3.0, then you're dismissed from the college, and then you have the opportunity to appeal to the associate dean. And if you are granted another chance, then you have 1 more semester to try to get your GPA above a 3.0. So let's address the issues at the beginning so we don't end up in this situation. Okay, assistance, course registration. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure you're registered for your courses, and you can do so online. If you run into an error, such as program restriction or prerequisite and test score error, there are a couple of different codes that might pop up. You're only allowed to take courses that are information systems or computer systems engineering. So this particular class is a chemical engineering class, and that's why it came up with a program restriction or a restriction add error. Unfortunately, these classes are not an option for you. So if that does come up, you'll have to choose a CSYE or an info class, and then you'll be able to register. Unless you have a prerequisite and test score error, which means that you need to take a class required before you can take that class. And if you do have any questions, you can always ask me. Okay, and then we do offer some online courses. There are a couple different methods, and I believe the most important thing is to just make sure that you're staying in status if you're an international student. And international students must have on-ground presence each semester, especially in your last semester. Again, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I might have you talk to OGS, but again, we're all here to help, and we want to make sure that you have a successful career in your master's program. All right, and then, so I'm, again, located at 130 Snell Engineering. So my office will be holding extended office walk-in hours. I unfortunately will not be in the office next week, but I will hold extended office hours special for you guys when I return the following week. If you have something urgent or an emergency, you can go in and somebody will be able to help you. But if you want to talk to me or need anything that only I can help you with, you'll have to wait another week. You can always email me. I just need some time to respond because there are a lot of you and only one of me. But then my regular walk-in hours are usually Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 to 4. You don't have to make an appointment. Those hours are for you to be able to walk in. I just ask that when you sign in, you use your NUID, which is your 9-digit number that's like special for your personal Husky account, and then the course that you have a question about, that information, and then the CRN. So that's the course registration number. It's the 5 digits that identify the course. So let's say CSYE 6200. That's the course identifier, but there's going to be a 5-digit code, and that identifies which section of that class. If, again, any questions, let me know. That's my email, again, my walk-in, my office. If you have something more personal or it's something that you want to make an appointment for that you think it'll take longer than a quick walk-in session, just give me an email about 24 hours in advance so I can book an appointment for you, again with your name, your NUID, and then the course information or whatever reason you need to talk to me about. And then again, our office is only open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, so I will not be responding to emails outside of those hours. So if you email me Friday night, you're definitely not going to hear from me until at least Monday. But I will get back to you. All right, and then so excited to have you guys as Huskies. So we want you to get involved around the community and campus. These are just a couple of different, the first 2 are organizations that you guys can explore. The following are different centers and like career development, the writing center, there's student employment, and then the bottom link is more of like Boston in general. There's lots of things going on. So once you're done your homework, then you can go and play around the city. Okay, so then up next, make sure that you guys, if you're international students, are checking in with OGS, attending those orientations, going to class once that begins on the 5th, and then checking in if you need anything from my office or any of us. We're here to help. And then if any of you guys like social media, there's a bunch of our accounts, so follow, friend, whatever you guys do. And now I'll pass it over to Sam.
Thanks, Haley.
Oh, thanks, guys.
All right, I'm back. I look a little different than there. I took that yesterday. Again, I'm Sam Casey. I'm a program manager for computer systems engineering. My email's up there. There will be times throughout your 2 years here that we'll have a little bit of contact. I work with our faculty members and our program director in setting up classes each semester. Getting out the CRNs, working to get our amazing faculty hired. Getting you guys, kind of setting the foundation for you guys to get registered for classes once the time comes, and hopefully during your time here you get to take all the classes that you intend to. So we'll get right into it. Where do I start? Degree requirements. A lot of this information you're going to have seen already if you've scoured the graduate catalog page that Haley went over. You've gotten the pre-registration communication from us. But I'm just going to go over it again for a lot of you because you may have seen it quickly in passing because you were in such a rush to get registered and do all these things and travel here and come to campus, get moved in. So we're just going to briefly go over the core requirements, specifically the sections that are offered right now on the schedule, and some of your elective choices that Professor Bugrara recommends you take in your first semester. Okay, let's start with program requirements for computer systems engineering. Required core courses, the two little arrows there. CSYE 6200, Concept of Object-Oriented Design, and Info 6205, Program Structure and Algorithms. These are the two core courses for you guys, okay? You'll note in the pre-reg, you do have the option of taking the algorithms course in the spring semester if you need to, but please, 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 the CSYE 6200 is recommended to take this semester. Below, coursework options, these are once you get your core requirements and you're thinking about electives that you want to take. Note when it comes to IS courses, the information systems, you can take a maximum of 8 semester hours from their electives. And then for CSYE, you do have the option of taking between 16 minimum and then a 24 maximum. And those are obviously added with the 2 core courses to get you to 32 credit hours. And it's noted tiny, but I added it with an asterisk. All 32 credit hours must be completed from CSYE or IS, not IoT. That's important to note because when you search on Banner, computer systems engineering, because the Internet of Things is under the same scope of CSYE, you might see those there. Do not sign up for those. And transfer credits are not allowed. And then one other thing I do want to note, because this has come up, we have obviously the campus here in Boston. We also have regional campuses in Seattle and Silicon Valley. When you're signing up for courses, do not sign up for an on-ground course in Seattle or Silicon Valley unless you plan on commuting. Okay? Do not sign up for those courses. Most of you know that, but there have been instances where you might not get your first option, and what happens is students sign up for the one in Seattle, and then they wonder why they can't take it. So just please be mindful of that. I know you guys have a lot of ideas of what you want to take, and sometimes it might be full, the section you want. Just be patient with it. The schedule that we do is very fluid. Professor Bruguera is really, really mindful of trying to make the classes work for you guys, and that the classes that you're interested in taking, you are able to take. So just don't freak out if the first option that you want isn't available right away because it gets filled. Give it time. There are chances sections change, times change, enrollment numbers for that section go up or whatever it may be. So just always have a backup plan in mind and have a couple courses locked and loaded so you know, hey, if I don't get this one, I would definitely take that one. I think it'd be something I'd be interested in. So I'm just going to go over the courses right now. These are the two core courses for CSYE and the sections with their CRNs and the professors. CSYE 6200, you'll see 3 different sections taught by Mark Munson on Monday nights, Dan Peters Monday afternoon, and Mohsen Ghasemi on Wednesday evenings. And then the algorithms, Info 6205. So these sections run twice a week. So just take note of that during the day. So the first section runs Wednesdays and Fridays, 11:45 and 1:25 on each day. The second section runs Tuesday, 11:45 to 1:25, but then on Thursday it's 2:50 to 4:30. So just be mindful of that when you're putting it in your calendar. Okay. First term electives, and you've seen these. Again, these are all on your pre-registration that you've seen. CSYE 7280, User Experience Design and Testing with Vishal Chawla, Monday evenings. Info 6150. That's a typo. The 6150, that's a Saturday course, not a Monday. Web Design and User Experience with Vishal. Obviously, he wouldn't, well, they're not at the same time, but that is a Saturday course. And then Amuthan does his course Wednesday evening, okay? Info 6210, Data Management and Database Design, both taught by Professor Yusuf Ozbek, one of our full-time faculty. Again, the Tuesday, Thursday section, just be mindful of the times, and then the Wednesday, Friday, the 11:45 to 1:25. So you got some decisions to make when it comes to your sections. If you haven't already, hopefully you guys have a pretty good idea of what you're taking come next week. But just double check it, make sure that it looks good and that you're in the classes that you're hoping to be in, okay? Just a couple links here. These were, again, before. These 2 links, I know they're long, but it's just the idea here is one's for the catalog page. It's a good reference page, a bookmark option that Haley talked about. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you're reading up, making sure that the classes you're signing up for qualify to help you graduate in 2 years. And then we have the pre-registration page, which you guys have been sent. You can refer to that as you're getting set for the upcoming semester. Okay, and then this is the last slide for me. Who should I see if I have a problem? Okay, so this is away from the classes, kind of, as you're a student here and trying to think about what you're trying to accomplish. You can be so focused on graduating, right? There's such a, not a pressure, but a goal to graduate on time and do the best you can in all your classes. But at times, things will come up unforeseen that you'll have to handle. Administrative advising questions, not getting in, registering for certain classes. You might get an error message and you can't figure it out. Well, if you can't do it on your own and can't find the links, you go to Haley. When it comes time to graduate, making sure that you're eligible and getting signed up, that's to Haley. OGS questions, yeah, you go to OGS. Maybe you're unsure, go to Haley. She can help with so many of those questions when it comes to actually registering for the specific class if issues come up. Academic questions. So this is more, your course alignment and thinking about the future, the careers that you're hoping to get into, the industry, and figuring out, will this class set me up for success after I graduate, and thinking about where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Academic questions like that can relate to your studies and your career. We have 4 full-time faculty members in Boston that can help you get ready for semesters and past graduation. Robin Hilliard, Yusuf Osbeck, Nick Brown, and Dino Konstantinopoulos. Most of them sit up on the 5th floor of Dana. That's kind of the multidisciplinary graduate engineering area. They'll have office hours that are going to be coming up in the next couple of days that you'll be able to see. You can go speak with them. Email them, get in touch with them, figure out a time to meet if you can't make the office hours. But they're great resources that you can go to. You don't always have to, bring everything necessarily to Professor Bugrara. If you have questions, we have these faculty members who have worked in the industry and know what they're doing and have taught for a long time and can help you guys out during your time here. Personal crises affecting your degree. These could be more personal matters as it relates to family or just anything else that might come up. Things that go beyond your studies, and you might be feeling a little overwhelmed or not sure about these things. When it gets to that point, you can definitely reach out to Dr. Bugrara. He would certainly be more than happy to help you guys kind of navigate your way through any of these issues. You might have something where you need to, emergency comes up, you have to leave campus and you're worried about missing a course 1 week. Talk to Professor Bugrara, work through it. We're all here to see you be successful. So hopefully any matters that come up that feel overwhelming, you guys feel like you have resources to come to and speak with about it, and we can hopefully figure something out. Then, if you don't know who to go to, shoot me an email. I can kind of be a point of contact for you guys if you're not sure where this problem lies. If you're like, I don't know if I should go to Haley, if I should go to Professor Brown or Dr. Bugrara, I don't know. I'm overwhelmed just thinking about being overwhelmed. You can send me an email, come see me. I sit up on the 5th floor of Dana. So you can either obviously send me an email, come see me, we can work it out, try to figure out the best solution to whatever you have going on. But other than that, we have a really great semester coming up. We're excited for you guys to be here, and that's about it. We're getting ramped up, so we're excited. And I'm now going to turn it over to our co-op portion, which I'm sure a lot of you are interested in and excited to learn about. Professor Laura Meyer.
Hey everyone. Obviously that's not me. Mike is doing an orientation for a different program, so I'm filling in for him. He is my colleague. We work together, same team, on the 5th floor of Dana Research Center. And let me give you a little tip. In Dana Research Center, you can only get to the 5th floor where we are seated by using the left elevator. The one on the right is only going to get you to the 4th floor. And you're going to wonder, where do we go to see some of our professors? So it's the left elevator, 5th floor. Okay, so this is Mike. He's awesome. And if you need to get a hold of him, this is his email address. And I want to point out one more thing. Your email addresses are what? At husky.neu.edu, correct? I want you to notice that ours for co-op and most of the professors are going to be northeastern.edu. So if you're not hearing back from somebody, it's probably because you typed at Husky and we didn't get it. So just so you know, students do that all the time. Super easy to do. So let me move on here. So let's talk a little bit about co-op. So ENCP 6000 is the required class that you need to take in order to be eligible for co-op. Okay? It is called Career Management for Engineers. And we have developed this class at Northeastern University because we feel that it's important for you to get the skills that we cover in that class, the knowledge that we cover in that class, and the mindsets and the pieces and parts to help you be successful on a co-op here in the United States. I think most of you, if not all of you, are international students, and it's a very different process here in the U.S. And so our job is to prepare you and give you the tools to be successful, okay? So in this class, we will talk about industry trends in the U.S. job market so that you can find out what's happening. We're pretty good with staying up on things. We are in contact with employers all the time. We get feedback from employers when we send students there to do an interview. We find out what more they want and things like that, and we pass on that information to you. We also have a speaker session each semester, and I know that we've already begun scheduling for this semester, so again, watch your email, be best friends with your Husky email, be best friends with your Blackboard. That's where you're going to get all of your information on what's happening in your classes. You need to understand, and we try to convey that to you, that co-op is a lot of hard work, and we want you to be successful at it. So, again, part of the reason for the course. And we also want to reiterate that a co-op is neither required for your program, nor is it guaranteed. You don't just get handed a co-op, okay? Your co-op advisor, so for you guys it's Mike, will be available to give you the tools, guidance, and support through the process, all right? So learning objectives. Let me just go on. So learning objectives for the whole entire course. It's to create your personal identity with a positioning statement and a resume. A positioning statement you'll learn about in class. We do a lot of practice. We put you on the spot. I know if you're in my class, and you might be in my class, I might walk up to you with a microphone and say, here's a microphone, stand up. And so you need to be ready for that. We want you to be awkward. We want you to feel uncomfortable, because what's going to happen when you're going out to do an interview? It's going to be a little awkward and uncomfortable, right? So we want you to get used to that and walk you through that in a friendly environment. Also, we're going to show you how to search for career-relevant co-ops using search tools, LinkedIn, networking. The search tool that the campus uses is called NU Careers. You will get access to that in February, I think, so you won't have access for a while because you're not eligible yet for co-op until next summer. And where else were we? So we also do work and do workshops to give you the extra benefit through behavioral practices, through technical interviews. We've had students come in and give feedback and do presentations on what worked really, God bless you, what worked really well for them and what they learned. And they would love to pass it on to you guys so that you can practice and really get polished. Also, a big thing of our course is your attitude, your behavior, how it all goes together. We teach a couple concepts called mindset and mindfulness, which just kind of help prepare you how to think, because you're going to have successes and you might even have some failures, and you got to pick yourself up, right? So we want you to be able to do that successfully. And then we also review engineering ethics as well as professional behavior. So this is how it works. You need to complete 16 semester hours in order to be eligible for co-op. So that's this semester and next semester. You need to pass the Career Management for Engineers course, ENCP 6000. Some of you may have registered for it already for this semester. Some of you may not have gotten in. That's okay. Take it in the spring. You're not going on co-op anyway until summer, so you're good to go with that. You need to have a 3.0 or higher GPA. That's a requirement. If you drop below, you are not eligible. You need to have at least one course left in your program when you come back when you finish with your co-op. So you cannot finish and graduate and take your last class all at the same time. We want to see your lovely smiling faces one more time when you're done with your co-ops. Another thing is that there's only one co-op, okay? You're not here that long. One co-op is what is permitted for you here. So what do you do next? You can check out these websites. Do they get these slides emailed to them? So when you get the PowerPoint, you get these emailed, you can click on these links and you can get all kinds of information on how it all works through the coe.neu website. And then the bottom one, you can also see the different policy standards as well. So these are really informative and will give you pretty much all the information you're going to need for co-op. And again, important to note, co-op is competitive, okay, for both you and for the employer. And it's never guaranteed. It does take work. So, wow, somebody did a lot of time animating these. Remind me to take this out of the IS presentation. I didn't do this. One more. There we are. So these are some of the companies where we have had a student on co-op in the past year. Have you heard of any of them? Maybe a couple, right? So many are here in Boston, so you can stay local. Some are on the other side of the United States. And I'm not sure if any of these up here are actually international, but we actually have some students on international co-ops as well. So just some things for you to look forward to, okay? Oh, I guess there was one more. Any questions for me? Awesome. I would like to introduce you to the program chair, Dr. Kel Bugrar. It's you.
Thank you.
There's that. Do you need to plug in?
At some point, yeah. Hello, everyone. So what time of day is it for you now, back home? Night. How long have you been here? Monday, so just a few days ago. Wow. How many of you here been here through the summer? Anybody? Oh my God, you're all jet lagged? Wow. Okay. Okay. So welcome to Boston. You know, this is a very special moment for me because this is what I have been doing every year for the last 12 years. Watching young people like you just come here. And then 2 years later, I've got these amazing people, all right? They're so proud of themselves, so confident in what they're doing. And so you're going to go through an amazing experience during your studies. And people always ask me, okay, what is it that exactly students get when they come study at Northeastern? Right? There's no car that you take from us, right? We don't give you a Tesla, right? We give you nothing. We take a piece of paper on an inkjet printer. We say you're okay. That's the only thing you get out of us, right? We make you think like, you know, you've got all this important stuff from us. Your parents are going to put a lot of money. But at the end of the day, a piece of paper printed on an inkjet that says, you know, you're good to go, right? So then exactly what happens? Why a student will still come here? Why students still call me and say, Professor, I've been out for 2 years. I'm trying to have my friends come to Northeastern because I want them to experience what I experienced. I have an email this morning from a 216 graduate. She wanted to get her friend to come here because she wanted her to have the same experience, right? Her friend got a master from BU, but still want to come here. She said she spent last year with her, training her how to get in software, and now she want to get her to this program so she can have the same experience. So what is the experience you're going to gain when you're on campus here for 2 years, right? You could have done the program online. But there's something about a campus, right, especially in the United States, right, where you're going to go through some evolution, some growth like you've never seen in your life. You have no idea what's going to happen to you, right? Because for me, you know, I came to this country from some far away place when I was 18 years old, just fresh out of high school. But the changes that I went through were just unbelievable. To this day, I'm still changing. Did I really change, or did I just add to my background? Right? And I always saw this place as you add. Right? Where you come from was an amazing experience. You built an amazing value system. But now this place is just going to add to it. And you're going to see things you've never thought you had before. And my famous expression, right, which I kept repeating in the last couple of years, is one of our graduates during graduation a couple of years ago. I was congratulating her for graduating, and we were walking. And at that time, after graduation, she was ready to go work at Goldman Sachs. Got a software engineering job, very proud of herself. She said, Professor, I never thought I had this in me, about herself. I never thought I had this in me. If there is anything that describe your experience on campus, is how much you're going to discover your full potential. Right? This rupture from your parents, this rupture from the past, new strangers you're going to work with, places you've never experienced before, end up being an amazing place for growth and experience like you've never seen before in your life. That's amazing. I'm making this promise to you. What am I asking for? Get ready. Right? Get ready to take advantage of this. Take it seriously. Enjoy it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very serious. You're going to see us a very friendly people, laughing, joking all the time. But we're also very, very tough. Right? We're very precise. We're very accurate. We take things seriously. We expect you to be serious. We expect you to be ethical. Right? You be upfront with us. And at the same time, you're going to have a lot of fun. Right? In this environment. So there's a lot of expectation we have of you. But there's a lot of obligations that we have toward you. Okay? So I say all of this because I watch all of you graduate and see all this amazing success out there. You know, there's no better place in the world for someone from an international background to thrive like the U.S. You just have to open your heart and your mind and let things happen to you. It's going to be an amazing experience. Right? So this is what I say, watching all graduates, right? I have thousands of you out there over the years. Right? So one of the most powerful things about what we do here as part of the College of Engineering is our ability to take engineers of different backgrounds and turn them into amazing software engineers. Right? So this is what we do. Okay? It doesn't matter what your background is. We know you're an engineer. You know you had a successful start somewhere in one college of the engineering somewhere in the world. We know you're analytically powerful. Now you need the right tools so you can get into this software world in ways that allowed you to be part of the future. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, AI, complex systems, mobility, right? So the world ahead of you is like no other. But you have to do your job. Okay? So this is who we are, right? So welcome. My name is Cal, right? And I'm going to be pretty much supervising the program for you. You stay here. Haley, Sam, and Laura talked about the different aspects of who we are, the rules, the system, the regulations, the rights and obligations. That's got to drive this experience. What's left right now are your faculty and the classrooms and the homeworks, right? And getting on the right track. So if there's something I would like to get through today, is primarily talk about the structure of the program, computer system engineering, right? I want you to understand what is computer system engineering, how is it different from its sister program, information systems. This is an important sister program you have to keep an eye on. They are supporting each other like no other, right? So you have to take it seriously. The information system is something else. But this is a heavily technical program. Information system is still heavily technical, but it has other dimensions that are not required for you. Okay? So there has been some changes to the program. The core courses now are a little bit different. And you have restrictions, how many courses you're going to be taking from information systems. Right? But that's basically it. All right? So if I am to, so there are only few things that I want to, there's a lot of stuff I can talk about. However, I'm just going to see if I can limit what we do. Right, and then get into some questions, okay? Oh, so this is not mine. Okay. So this is so I'm going to tell you some of the basic philosophies of what we do. You probably, how many of you were in one of these webinars last spring? Okay. Why the rest of you didn't attend? You just came here not knowing what we do, all right? So let me go briefly. So myself, from my background, I'm a computer scientist by training. If you know Donald Knuth, I am second generation Donald Knuth. My advisor was a student of Donald Knuth, the father of computer science. So I have a heavy theoretical computer science background, but the challenge here at the College of Engineering is primarily how to think of software as an engineering problem. This is an important idea, right? How to think of software as an engineering problem. If you do that very well, if you think of software as an engineering problem, as you did as a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer, there's so much to contribute to the software industry, right? So my basic philosophy as I transitioned from science to software engineering is how do I think of software the same way a bridge engineer would think of a bridge? You see, a bridge engineer is responsible for putting a bridge together. There's so many things that a bridge engineer will have to think about, right? So as much as the science of cement, the bridge engineer is also responsible for the look and feel of that bridge, right? You're not going to put a zigzagged bridge easily, right? So it had to fit in the town, right? So I try to make a difference between engineering by saying, okay, as an engineer, I am interested in cement and the different temperatures of different cement types, but not necessarily interested in the molecules of cement. I would like to think of a software engineer the same way. That the component and the internals of a component, the algorithmic nature of a software component could be a computer science problem. But being able to put a complete system together with different pieces coming from different places is an engineering problem. Because really you are putting a complex system together. The more we have better methodologies to think of software as an engineering problem instead of a programming problem, the better we're going to be at solving super complex problems, right? So in the information systems program, one of the things the students have to do is take a very complex social problem and build a piece of software for it. For example, a few years back, students had to worry about build a software system for how to distribute vaccine, right, throughout the world. Right? A vial of vaccine, right? It's visible worldwide. It's always needed somewhere. Could be available here, but might be needed in China. So in that sense, there's a product that has worldwide visibility. How would you build a distribution system to make sure vaccine is available where it's needed? Right? So what's the problem there? Places, vaccine could suffer from this oversupply, right? And high demand areas, right? So the stuff, and you'd never know where it's needed until there's say a flu epidemic or something that appears on you. How do you build these software systems that allow you to shift the available supply to where it's needed? How to build such systems are really still a big challenge for us as software engineers. And your generation and future generations are going to be the people who will be building these systems together, right? So people are very hot. I want to do machine learning. I want to do AI. Okay? This is all fluff and market stuff, right? But making sure children get vaccine when it's needed, okay? That is life. Okay? Tell your mother about machine learning or AI. Right? Or tell them about children vaccine, how they're going to respond. Right? If you're going to use machine learning or artificial intelligence to ensure that vaccine is going to be available where it's needed, then you have contribution to make. Otherwise, you're hearing about market fluff that means nothing. Right? So software engineering, right? So we want to think of software as an engineering problem. Because we want to be able to put these systems together in a way that will allow us to solve what? Social problems. This is the big picture that one of these days that you need to be solving. Right? But we have the simpler problem of making sure we get the basic stuff out of the way, which is programming fundamentals. Right? Learning how to do the basic stuff. But there's an amazing future out there. A lot of stuff you're going to do, and it's going to be very exciting. But you have to do the work. And our job is to look at our experience, how to do this, look at the future, look at the dynamics of the industry, and make recommendations to you by saying, your curriculum matters toward the future you want to build for yourself. It's our job. When we tell you these classes matter, this is the right teacher for the class, that matters. Why? Because we are the experts. We've done that stuff. We've seen the stuff, and constantly looking at what's going on out there to make sure the most effective techniques are available to you, right? So if I go through the basic stuff, this is the big things that are happening. Business is going digital. I want to use technology to be more competitive, right? The competition are eating our lunch. How do I use technology to more effectively be able, right, to compete more effectively? Some people call it BI, business intelligence, machine learning, AI, but at the heart of it is really business is trying to get ahead the start, right? Digital business creating new ways of generating revenue. Small players are chipping away at stable sources of revenue. Being nimble and agile is the way to go. Social changes can benefit from technology as well. Challenges can benefit from technology as well. Software engineers are going to be at the heart of this revolution. Okay? And are you going to be ready to contribute? Right? See? So now we're talking about graduate school. Right? The sense of responsibility is a big deal. This is no longer an undergraduate where you're trying to mature. Okay? There's work to be done. There's a place for you out there to do important contribution, to society. So this is when you look at the stuff out there. There's a huge marketing hype all over this place. Machine learning, Internet of Things, virtual reality, robots, right? Big data, autonomous vehicles. How much of this science and engineering and how much is it just excitement, trade magazine excitement, and marketing people, right? We are not as advanced as you might think, right? We talk about AI, nobody knows what AI is, right? There is stuff out here, Google says I can tell the difference. I wrote a piece of software to tell the difference between a cat and a dog, right? But creating a useful system out of it is a completely different problem, right? So we have a way to go. Still, the fundamentals are important, and we need to make sure we do that stuff right, right? So some of the challenges that we see out there in the marketplace, huge amounts of data already exist. What's in that data? Is there an intelligence in my data? Right? Like Mass General came to us a month ago saying, we know so much. We have scans of liver cancer. We have data about liver cancer that we have accumulated over years. The Mass General is one of the biggest and most gigantic hospitals in the world. Right? So we have scans that show the different kinds of cancers in a liver, and we want to figure out how do we classify these different cancers automatically very quickly by looking at the old data. Can we learn from the previous classifications something new? Right? So one of the doctors said, Cal, we have differences of opinion when we see some cancer cells. One doctor said it could be this, one doctor said it could be that, and we don't have 100% agreement. Is there a way we can look at the old data and be able to have a machine solve this problem for us instead of the doctors having disagreements? Okay? So that's where this big data, the amounts of data we have, we say, my God, there's so much knowledge, can we just figure out the statistical techniques that can look at the different variations and be able to say, which one is it, right? So this stuff needs software engineers to make sure you build what we call the data pipelines, so we can figure out exactly how all these different variations are really part of the same thing, right? So there's a lot of needs out there. User experience design is a huge area. Machine learning and data analytics, big data system engineering. So you can do the data analysis, but if you don't put a complex big data system in place, ain't gonna happen, right? So natural language processing, there's more text out there than structured data. Natural language processing is becoming a hot thing, being able to interpret language, right? Cloud computing is a big thing, right? But still at the heart of all of that, these fundamental programming languages, right? So the fundamentals continue. How are you with your algorithms knowledge? How are you with your data structure skills? How are you with these different programming languages? Still C++ comes up. Everyone want to do Python right now? But still, until yesterday, people are telling me, we need C++ programmers. There's more code written in C than anything else to this day. All of the internet is written in C. Okay? So there's a lot of need, but the fundamentals of good programming skills are going to be the key. And this is what you're going to be asked about first, before they talk to you about any of the other stuff. How are you doing there? And these are the fundamental things that we need to make sure we cover very well ahead of time. How do we address the need? This is my favorite slide, what it means to be a software engineer. And this is the slide we use heavily in the information systems program. What is it to be an IS engineer? And I want to share that with you so you know what your colleagues in the other program are doing. Right? We've got 500 students coming in to that program. You should see them tonight in the auditorium. Right? There's a reason for it. There's a reason for the success of the information systems program. And it's this idea that it's one thing to be a fast programmer. It's one thing to look at an algorithm and program it in C or Java. It's a completely different problem to build a system. Okay? See, this is like I said, so if you think of a bridge and what it takes to put the bridge together, it's the same problem you have in software. When you have a piece of software to solve a social problem or a government problem, a tax problem for the government, you are talking about a system that involves people. Okay? So in the information system program, we say, the minute, if I'm writing a piece of code to execute a function that will take an input and produce an output is one thing. But if I start putting the human being right in the middle of the software, God help us. Right? Right? And the example we give there is that, okay, you can build a four-wheeler to take you from A to B, right? But once you decide you want to put the human being as the driver of that car, the requirements completely changes, right? So the minute you're building a system for people, the design issues are completely different. Writing an algorithm to do sorting, right, is a straightforward problem. But to build a system so Cal can do his job better, now you have a crazy human being with different opinions about what that system should have. And you as a software engineer, you need to be equipped to deal with the craziness of your customer. And that's not an easy thing. And in the information systems program, the students need to learn how to deal with the human aspect of a software system. And in that sense, when I looked at different engineering disciplines, which have been here for thousands of years, the way they think of a system is very interesting, right? Engineering is a method for solving complex problems, right? Like these guys who wanted to put the pyramid, right? God knows what they were thinking, right? But they came up with some engineering techniques to make it work, right? That's not sitting down and let's put blocks together, right? They had to think. At the end of the day, it also had to look amazing, didn't it, right? There's something about the pyramid that even its look and feel was grand, right? That's an engineering feat. What is the engineering technique that make that provide solutions to these complex problems. A skyscraper. Why do they still happen successfully? Why we still don't know how to build a software system the right way? Okay? And these are the challenges you're going to face. You want to get into a point in your life where you as a software engineer are going to say, well, we need a complex software system. There's an engineering method how to make it happen. Instead of a bunch of programmers writing code the whole day, if then else. Right? That's not how humans operate. Right? So software engineering still has a way to go. And this slide, what it says is really that the skills you need as a software engineer to put a system together lies in these three areas. Right? The engineering and science that you need, the latest in Java, the world problem, the social problem that you're trying to solve, right? And then the time and money you need to make it happen. Right? Putting the pyramid together, wasn't it involving at least these three facets? Right? You needed to know there was a godly thing that these guys needed to accomplish. Right? The engineers needed to figure out exactly where in the sky these guys needed to look. Right? That's probably an astronomical problem that they were dealing with that had nothing to do with the engineering. Right? So understand real-world complexity and the skills there are important. And then how much time and money do you have to make it happen? Right? Quality, right? Time, and what? Cost. Right? And God help you. Right? HP says you can only have 2 out of 3. Which ones you want? Right? If you try to have the 3 together, that could take forever, right? So we try to think in information systems that your skill sets need to be in these 3 areas versus your program, which is really going to stay on the technical side. But the reality of a software engineer, more how we think in information systems, that you need to be able to take classes that will help you understand the requirements. Make sure your technical skills are the right place. And then you need to figure out how in the heck am I going to get this done on time. Right? So your project management classes help you put task lists together. Right? Business complexity requires that you take some classes that will allow you to understand how does a hospital system work. Okay? And then, oh, by the way, don't forget about the algorithms classes and the, right? All the science stuff you need to do. And we say ideally that you have a balance between the 3. And then our students start changing, they start veering in one direction or another, right? I want to be heavy on the business side. I want to be heavy on the programming side. I want to be heavy on the programming. And our students end up taking their classes all over the place. So information system is very broad. Students can decide what they want to do based on their personality. We just sit and watch. And I've seen everything. Right? They would be 3-4 roommates together and they have completely different ideas what their classes will do. And it's amazing to watch that. Why is that? Because our students are engineers of different backgrounds. They have different ideas where they want to focus. But the IT industry is ready for you however you want to select your classes. Right? That is more on the information system side. But for computer system engineering, the heavy emphasis primarily is going to be making sure you're deep on the technical side. How is that different from computer science? To us, this is the world of applications, the world of systems, integrating systems together, putting data pipelines together, but it's not sitting down and just writing code. You want to think of the whole thing, and that is still a heavily technical issue. Okay? Our students have a great idea of how to put an application together. At computer science, generally, they don't. Okay? And to us, it's the world of applications. And the world of applications is the world of systems. Okay? So that's something for you to think about. But these are basically the classes, how they look to us. You have the algorithms class, which is a required class that you have to take. You can take it the first semester if you want. It's going to be heavy to do both of them at the same time. Depends on your skill set. If you're light on programming, you might want to keep the algorithms class until next semester and do something a little bit lighter. Okay? The web design class could be a good alternative. You know, this is an IS class, but it's a front-end design, JavaScript and the like. Right? Could be a good balance. The database class could be another option. Maybe I don't want to. I prefer not for you to stay away from database classes, but you have an option to take a database class from IS. But then you only have 2 classes from IS you can take. Right? So you have to choose them wisely. All right, so we put a wall between these 2 programs. We did them before, but now there's a wall between them, and the maximum number of IS courses you can take are 2 because we want you to focus on your program being a heavy technical individual. Very distinct from IS, which has that socio-technical balance. All right? So these are the courses. Operating system is alive and well. Enterprise software design is web development, very similar to what we do in the IS program. Spring and Hibernate stuff. You know, it's a great model. Spring framework is a great model how to put web applications together. The cloud computing class, there's nothing like it in this world. We have an amazing teacher who teaches the cloud computing class. It's one of our most popular classes. If you have a strong technical background already, maybe that's something you want to start with in connection with the Java class. All right? So big data engineering using Scala is a functional programming class. And we've got the professor here, right? Robin Hillier, right? Who's one of our full-time faculty as well, a friend of mine from way back then as well, a computer scientist, Cambridge University, and he's the teacher. Robin, you didn't make it in time today.
What's that?
You didn't make it in time, yes. Right.
Not a problem.
Yes. So you want to say a few things
Yeah,
here?
sure. So Scala's been around about 10 years or so, and it was originally designed to fix all of the problems in Java, and it was essentially written by one of the original Java programmers. So it's a language that really understands concepts of functional programming, but it is also object-oriented like Java. And it runs on the Java virtual machine, and it's pretty much 100% interoperable with Java. So you can write a system, you can have some people writing in Scala, some people writing in Java. So the really important thing about it from the point of view of big data is that Spark, which is kind of taking over all of the big data world, is written in Scala. If you came to my class, you learned Scala, you could write Spark for yourself. Well, you could write the basics anyway. There's nothing really magic about Spark. Everything, all the capabilities that it has, it gets from Scala. And so that's one major reason to want to learn Scala. Another reason is simply it will teach you to be a better programmer, whatever language you're programming in. And the third reason, it's just so much fun. It's such a great language to work with. And you don't have, you don't run into things like, oh, you can't do that. You can do anything. And I just enjoy programming.
Very good.
So those are my thoughts on that.
Thank you. Right. So, well, yeah, one of Professor Robin's students, after he took the class, he said, "Professor, after the Scala class, I learned how to be a good programmer. I learned how to programmed the right way. So there's a level of sophistication in this kind functional programming that allows, really a mathematical model how to program. Right? It's very powerful, and it's always, so you get a programming language to allow you to build big data pipelines. So all the machine learning and data analytics that you're going to be doing can be done on top of using a programming language like Scala, and you have the formality of a very powerful programming language, but you have this amazing data pipelines for machine learning and the like. See, it's one thing to build a data pipeline. It's a completely different problem to do the statistics and probabilities we call machine learning. Right? So one is around statistics, mathematics, mathematical modeling, statistics, probability distribution, and all that mess. The other one is that now we've got 100 different channels of data that need to be integrated in one simple model, so we start doing the pattern recognition over it. Right? And 80% of this machine learning work, 80% of the effort in this machine learning data analytic project is going to building the data pipeline itself. The math is only about 20% of the whole effort, but everybody want to be there, right? And of course, I'm very against our students getting into the data science stuff, because I feel like, this is getting into the world of probabilities and statistics, and that ain't an easy. It's one thing to use a library to do stuff, but it will be brailless, right? So leave statistics and probability to the mathematicians, because there are so many dangers in making claims, analyzing data and making claims where people might sue you, right? So it's one thing to do the data analytics, it's another to prove that you have facts out of it, right? Now, we're getting into the virtual world where us as software engineers might end up going to prison for negligence. Get ready for that kind of a world, right? So we have to be very responsible what we do and the claims we make, right? Stuff that you will be learning, all right? So then you have the multi-threading class. This, in addition to into the operating system class, you can take the multi-threading. Probably you can do one or the other, the operating system or the multi-threading. Maybe you want to do both. But you have a class over here that's the data science class for us, right? And now we just introduced an advanced data cloud computing class this semester, all right? And a deployment and DevOps class is being introduced next semester into the program. DevOps is just how to manage the computing operations of a system. Okay? So I think this is briefly what I want to talk about. Your options this semester is what we recommend. You want to take the Java or the C++ class. If you had Java before, maybe you can do C++. And we will count that as an alternative, right? Then you have either the algorithms class or the web development class, the cloud computing, or the user experience design and testing, right? This is still part of computer system engineering, where you understand user requirements, right? How to prototype a UI. Okay, so we have a guy from MIT Lincoln Labs teaching that class here, so you will understand all the stuff about how to think of a user interface. How would you capture the user requirements as a visual? Okay, but there's no programming there. So it could be a lighter class, or you can do the more technical, the web design class that gets into HTML, JavaScript stuff. Right? Or the database class. Database class, the 6210. Okay? The web design class as an alternative. The user experience class as another alternative. If you want to do the cloud computing and get heavy right away, that's fine too, but I don't recommend it for now. Right? And regardless, it should be a light semester because you have so much going on. Coming to a new place, so you have to be careful not to challenge yourself too much. Okay? Get this semester out of the way, and after that you will be fine, right? But now there's so much, just figuring out your way around town is going to be a challenge, right? And then, the cold weather is going to come, the flu is going to be around, and, you expect to go, oh, I can study tomorrow. Suddenly you have a cold, all right? Okay, guys, so I'm going to keep it at that, right? So this is my portion. Do you want to do the QA now?
Yeah, open it up.
Okay. Okay, thank you, guys. All right, thank you. All right. Do you have a few words to say yourself, or?
No, I think I said it.
Okay, all right. So any questions? I know you have a lot. All right. So you've seen right? We've got Haley, right? The person to see. She's available next week, right? Yeah.
So I'll be available via email, but I won't.
I was just joking.
Oh.
Right? You can bother her. So she responds to her email in the middle of the night. No problem. I'll give you her cell phone as well. Okay, questions?
You might think it's a silly question, but I bet somebody else in here is thinking it too.
Yes.
Can we select the class 6200 and 6205 in this semester?
Which one?
6200 and 6205.
Oh,
Both of
yeah, you can. The algorithm is plus the Java class. Yeah, we've got the algorithm professor here.
I think he meant the two CSYE classes. Is that right?
Yeah,
Or did you mean the algorithms class?
yeah. I mean, I want to choose the both of two.
Oh, the C++ and the Java?
I think so.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right. Yes, you can do that, right? You have 8 classes for your degree, right? You can do 2 programming classes if you want. There's a lot of similarity between both of them, right? But it could be a way for you to get ready. My advice is that you should do one of them and get the flavor of another class, right? It's better to open yourself up to the different ideas quickly. This is graduate school, guys. So it's no longer, things are move fast, and you have to get the ideas fast and just be very dynamic and moving. And each professor got their own demands on you. All right? You have to get ready. But of course, we always ask you, like Haley and Sam said earlier, if there's an issue, the sooner we know, the better. Okay? You feel in trouble. I feel like I'm totally confused. I am not able to grasp the material. Whatever it is, the sooner we know, the easier we can intervene and define an option plan for you. So there's a whole system available to support you. Okay? It looks like, we don't have a big office waiting for you to come in, but when there's trouble, we know how to take care of it. We've seen everything. So don't hide your problem, right? This is a good place to be open, right? Including, roommate problem, even social problems you have. My roommate, just wakes me up at night. Yeah.
How many courses we can choose a semester?
The recommended one is 2. If one want to do 3 classes, we will let you do it. But the preference for especially semester number 1, we think it's a bad idea.
Okay, so 3 classes per
Semester, then 3, that will be 12 credit hours.
so that is available.
You can, if you want to do that, we will allow you. You have to explain to us why you should do 3 classes. Right? But you have to be careful. Right? I have students who ended up doing poorly, and they decided to punish themselves. They ended up saying, oh, I did so pretty, I'm going to take 3 colors next semester. It was a worse disaster. Right? Things don't work that way. Right? So you can be busy with the material, but if you don't think about what you're doing, why don't you do the extra work that goes with the class instead of just running from one homework assignment to another? This is a skill set you're building. You're preparing for professional life right now. You're not just trying to get a degree. You see, because there's an employer waiting for you on the other side. And they're going to be asking you questions beyond belief about why they should hire you. So it's not like it's not about the degree at all. It's about you facing the world ahead of you. So you can't fake it. Right? But we will allow, when students ask that they want to do 3 classes, we say, fine. But your semester number 1, what do you know about what's coming at you right now? Okay? If you're very confident, we're going to let you. Yep.
I don't know if it's enterprise software development is for the web design, or so if it is, what's the difference between the web design class for the info and the CSYE?
So the web design is JavaScript, HTML. The enterprise class is Java, back-end development. One is front-end development, the other one is back-end development. Heavy Java stuff on the back-end. You will have a UI and simple HTML, but the stuff is all about the back-end. Okay? One is much heavier than the other, right? The web development is a big deal. Okay. Now, how many of you are skilled programmers already? Or you think you're a skilled programmer already? Yes, okay. Right, so if you have the programming skills and you need a little bit of advanced classes, go ahead. Right, there's so much stuff, this is the big, so the biggest complaint I hear there from students is, Professor, there's so many classes I want to take and so little time. So you need to choose your classes wisely. Right? The cryptocurrency classes are on the IS side, but this is where I spend most of my time. So I always encourage students, if you feel confident, maybe you should take the cryptocurrency classes from the beginning, because that world is exploding right now. Being a cryptocurrency developer right now is one of the most amazing things that can happen to you. And I had few students, from semester number 1, they ended up taking these things and they're doing amazingly well. But you have to know what you're doing, and we will let you take these classes if you want. Okay. Good. I think we're in a good shape. Okay. Yep. Thank you, guys. Welcome on board. All right.